Ever wondered what secrets the past still fiercely guards? Imagine a world where advanced civilizations vanished without a trace, where impossible structures defy logic, and where messages from antiquity remain undeciphered. In 2025, despite all our technological prowess, there are still enigmas etched into the very fabric of history that continue to confound the brightest minds. Get ready, because we're about to dive into 5 of the most baffling ancient mysteries that will send shivers down your spine and leave you questioning everything you thought you knew.
5 ancient mysteries that still baffle scientists in 2025.
Our first stop takes us to the curious case of the Voynich Manuscript, a medieval codex filled with peculiar illustrations of unknown plants, astronomical diagrams, and what appeared to be naked women bathing in intricate plumbing systems. The most baffling aspect? Its entire text is written in an unknown language or cipher, one that has resisted all attempts at decipherment for centuries. Carbon dated to the early 15th century, the manuscript's origins are as obscure as its contents. Was it a medical text, a book of magical spells, or perhaps something even more extraordinary? Scholars have dedicated their lives to unlocking its secrets, employing every linguistic and cryptographic tool available, yet the Voynich remains an unyielding enigma. Some researchers hypothesize it's an elaborate hoax, a clever piece of gibberish designed to fool collectors. However, the sheer volume of text and its consistent internal structure suggest a genuine, albeit utterly impenetrable, system of communication. The complexity involved in creating such a detailed fake would have been immense for its time. The illustrations themselves are a mystery. The plants depicted don't correspond to any known species on Earth, leading some to speculate about extraterrestrial influence or a lost botanical knowledge. The astronomical charts also seem to deviate from conventional understanding, hinting at a different perspective on the cosmos. Could the Voynich manuscript be a record of a forgotten civilization's knowledge, deliberately encoded to prevent its misuse? Or perhaps it's a personal diary of a brilliant but eccentric mind whose internal world was so unique it required a language of its own. In 2025, this ancient puzzle continues to mock our understanding, a silent challenge from the past. Next, we journey to the arid plains of Peru, home to the colossal and breathtaking Nazca Lines. Etched into the desert floor across hundreds of square miles are intricate geoglyphs depicting animals like hummingbirds, monkeys, and lizards, alongside geometric shapes and straight lines stretching for miles. What makes them truly astounding is their sheer scale. These massive designs are best appreciated from an aerial perspective, leading to the obvious question, how and why were they created by a culture that, as far as we know, lacked the means for flight? The Nazca people flourished between 100 BCE and 800 CE, using simple tools and surveying techniques to execute these monumental artworks with astonishing precision. The purpose behind the Nazca Lines remains a hotly debated topic. Early theories suggested they were ancient astronomical calendars, marking solsticings and equinoxes. While some alignments have been noted, this explanation doesn't account for the vast majority of the figures or the non-astronomical designs. Another compelling theory posits that they were part of elaborate religious rituals, perhaps pathways for processions or offerings to ancient deities. The animals depicted often held significant spiritual meaning in Andean cultures. Were they pleas for rain in a parched land, or symbols intended to be seen by beings from above? Perhaps the most outlandish hypothesis suggests the Nazca Lines were landing strips or navigational aids for extraterrestrial visitors. While lacking concrete evidence, the idea persists due to the impossible nature of their construction and the messages to the heavens vibe they undeniably emit. The mystery endures, a silent, sprawling canvas of questions. Our third mystery takes us beneath the waves to a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera, where in 1901 divers discovered an astonishing artifact, the Antikythera mechanism. At first glance, it appeared to be a corroded lump of bronze and wood, but upon closer inspection, it revealed itself to be a device of unparalleled complexity for its era. Dating back to approximately 150 to 100 BCE, this intricate collection of gears and dials is now widely recognized as the world's first analog computer. It was capable of predicting astronomical positions and eclipses decades in advance, tracking the movements of the moon and possibly even the planets. The level of engineering and scientific knowledge required to create such a device was thought to be impossible for ancient civilizations. Its sophistication rivaled clocks and astronomical instruments of the 18th century, making it an incredible out-of-place artifact that challenges our understanding of ancient Greek technological capabilities. Who built it and why? Was it a unique invention or part of a lost tradition of advanced engineering? The mechanism's complexity suggests a lineage of similar, perhaps less elaborate devices that have simply not survived. Yet no other artifact of comparable sophistication from that period has ever been discovered. Some theories suggest its creator might have been Archimedes or Hipparchus, renowned ancient Greek mathematicians and astronomers. Regardless of its specific origin, the Antikythera mechanism stands as a testament to forgotten genius and a stark reminder that history often holds surprises far beyond our current textbooks.
No list of ancient mysteries would be complete without the iconic Great Pyramid of Giza. Standing proudly for millennia, it remains the only one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world still largely intact. While its purpose as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu is widely accepted, the how of its construction continues to baffle engineers and historians alike. Composed of over 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing an average of 2.5 tons, with some weighing up to 80 tons, the pyramid rises to a staggering height of 146.6 meters originally. The precision with which these massive blocks were cut, transported, and assembled is mind-boggling, especially considering the lack of modern machinery. Traditional theories propose the use of vast workforces, ramps, and levers. However, the sheer scale and speed of construction, estimated to have taken around 20 years, pose significant challenges to these explanations. The logistics of feeding, housing, and managing such an enormous labor force, let alone positioning the blocks with such accuracy, seem almost insurmountable. How did the ancient Egyptians achieve such perfect alignment with true north? How did they manage to create internal chambers and passages without collapsing the entire structure? The ventilation shafts pointing to specific stars also add another layer of astronomical sophistication to their architectural prowess. Alternative theories, often veering into the fantastical, include the use of advanced lost technology, sound levitation, or even extraterrestrial assistance. While these ideas lack scientific backing, they highlight the profound difficulty in fully explaining the pyramid's construction using only known ancient Egyptian techniques. The Great Pyramid whispers secrets of ingenuity we have yet to fully comprehend. Our final enigma transports us to the remote and mysterious Easter Island, or Rapa Nui. Beyond its iconic Moai statues, the island harbors another profound secret, the Rongorongo script. This system of glyphs, carved onto wooden tablets and other objects, represents one of the very few independent writing systems ever developed by humanity.
Discovered in the 19th century, the Rongo script consists of an array of human, animal, plant, and geometric symbols. The script is unique in that it is boustrophoden, meaning you read one line from left to right, then the next from right to left, rotating the tablet 180 degrees with each line. Despite numerous attempts by linguists and epigraphers, the Rongo script remains undeciphered. The biggest hurdle is the limited number of surviving texts. Only about 20 dozen objects bearing the script are known to exist globally. This scarcity makes pattern recognition and comparison incredibly difficult. Was it a true phonetic alphabet, a syllabary, or a system of ideograms and logograms? The few surviving Rapa Nui elders who might have held knowledge of the script's meaning were lost to disease and slave raids in the 19th century, taking their precious insights to their graves. The content of the script is also a mystery. Some believe it records genealogies, myths, or historical events of the Rapa Nui people. Others suggest it might be a mnemonic device or even a form of early spiritual record-keeping. Its isolation and uniqueness make it a poignant testament to a lost voice. The Rongo script is a tantalizing glimpse into the intellectual life of a remarkable civilization that flourished in extreme isolation. In 2025, it serves as a powerful reminder of how much ancient knowledge has been lost to time, waiting patiently for a mind capable of unlocking its silent testimony. The legend of Atlantis, a technologically advanced island civilization that vanished beneath the waves in a single day and night, continues to captivate imaginations. First described by the Greek philosopher Plato in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, Atlantis is presented as a powerful thalassocracy that attempted to invade Athens, but was ultimately defeated and then swallowed by the sea as divine punishment. For centuries, scholars and enthusiasts have debated whether Atlantis was a real place or merely a philosophical allegory. Plato's detailed description of its geography, government, and societal structure lends credence to its historicity for some, while others see it as a cautionary tale against hubris and imperial ambition. Numerous expeditions have been launched in search of the lost continent, with potential locations proposed all over the globe: the Mediterranean, the Atlantic Ocean, even Antarctica. The most popular theories often point to the volcanic eruption of Terra, Santiri, around 1600 BCE, which devastated the Minoan civilization as a possible inspiration for Plato's account. However, archaeological evidence for a continent-sized landmass sinking into the ocean is non-existent. Geological processes operate on timescales far exceeding human history, making the sudden disappearance of an entire continent highly improbable. Yet the allure of a technologically superior ancient civilization remains powerful. Could Atlantis represent a collective memory of a flood myth, combined with the grandeur of real-world ancient empires? Or perhaps Plato, a master storyteller, simply crafted a compelling narrative to convey his philosophical ideas. In 2025, Atlantis remains an elusive dream, a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with lost worlds and golden ages.
Imagine discovering a clay jar, copper cylinder, and an iron rod that, when filled with an acidic solution, could generate an electrical current. That's exactly what archaeologists believe they found in the 1930s Iraq, an artifact now famously known as the Baghdad Battery. Dating back to the Parthian era, around 250 BCE to 224 CE, this discovery sent shockwaves through the scientific community. If it truly was a battery, it would predate Alessandro Volta's 1800 invention by nearly 2 millennia, drastically rewriting the history of electricity. The implications are profound, suggesting an understanding of electrochemical principles far earlier than previously thought possible. However, the battery theory is not without its skeptics. No ancient wires, lights, or other electrical devices have ever been found in conjunction with these jars, leading some to propose alternative uses. Perhaps they were used for electroplating, a technique to apply a thin layer of one metal to another, or for medicinal purposes, administering mild electric shocks for pain relief. The original discoverer, Wilhelm Koenig, was convinced it was a battery, and experiments have successfully replicated its electricity-generating capabilities. The question isn't whether it could generate electricity, but rather why and how ancient people would have utilized such a device without leaving more comprehensive evidence of its application. The debate continues to rage. Was it a groundbreaking piece of technology that was either forgotten or deemed too insignificant to record, or is our modern interpretation of its function a misattribution, projecting our understanding onto ancient artifacts? The Baghdad battery electrifies our curiosity, a potential spark of ancient innovation still awaiting full recognition. Venturing to the dense jungles of Costa Rica, we encounter another enigmatic ancient wonder: hundreds of perfectly spherical stone balls, ranging in size from a few centimeters to over 2 meters in diameter and weighing up to 16 tons. These incredible artifacts, known as the Dikis spheres, were first discovered in the 1930s during land clearing for banana plantations. Carved with astonishing precision from gabbro, a hard igneous rock, the spheres are almost perfectly round, some with deviations of less than a centimeter across their circumference. The ancient people who created them, the Dikis culture, flourished from 200 to 1500 CE, and their methods for achieving such flawless sphericity remain a profound mystery. How did a pre-Columbian civilization, without advanced tools or metallurgy, manage to shape such colossal stones? Theories range from heating and cooling techniques to meticulous pecking and grinding with harder stones, but the sheer effort and skill required are staggering. The logistics of transporting these massive spheres, sometimes over considerable distances, also adds to the enigma. Their purpose is equally baffling. Were they astronomical markers, status symbols, or perhaps part of elaborate religious rituals? Some were found in alignments, suggesting they might have served calendrical or navigational functions, or marked important sites. Others were placed near burial grounds. Local legends speak of giants who played with them, or even that they are treasures filled with gold, although no such finds have ever materialized. The systematic destruction and removal of many spheres from their original contexts for decorative purposes have further archaeological study. The Dikis spheres are silent sentinels, holding secrets of a lost culture's artistry and ambition. Prepare to have your understanding of early human history completely rewritten by Göbekli Tepe, an archaeological site in southeastern Turkey that has overturned long-held theories about the origins of civilization. Discovered in the 1990s, this complex of massive, intricately carved stone pillars dates back to around 9600 BCE, making it thousands of years older than Stonehenge or the Great Pyramids. What makes Göbekli Tepe truly revolutionary is that it predates the invention of agriculture and settled life. Conventional wisdom suggested that humans first settled, then developed farming, and then built monumental structures. Göbekli Tepe flips this on its head, indicating that hunter-gatherers constructed elaborate religious sites before developing agriculture. The site consists of several circular enclosures, each featuring T-shaped megalithic pillars, some weighing up to 20 tons. These pillars are often adorned with detailed reliefs of animals like boars, foxes, lions, snakes, and vultures, suggesting a rich symbolic and spiritual world for these early people. The sheer scale of the construction and the artistry involved is astounding for its time. How did mobile hunter-gatherer groups organize such a monumental undertaking? It implies a level of social cohesion, planning, and specialized labor previously thought to be impossible for pre-Neolithic societies. Even more mysterious is the fact that after centuries of use, Göbekli Tepe was deliberately buried around 8000 BCE, preserving it almost perfectly. Why would such a magnificent site be intentionally covered up? Was it a ritual act, a way to honor or hide something sacred, or a practical decision to protect it from changing environmental conditions? The first temple guards secrets that challenge our fundamental assumptions about human progress.
Our final deep dive into baffling ancient mysteries brings us to the Greek island of Crete and to a peculiar artifact discovered in 1908, the Phaistos disc. Made of fired clay, this disc is inscribed on both sides with a spiral of unique hieroglyphic symbols pressed into the wet clay using individual seals. Dating to the Minoan Bronze Age, around 1850 to 1600 BCE, the disc is one of archaeology's most frustrating puzzles. Its script, comprising 241 tokens made from 45 distinct signs, is unlike any other known ancient writing system, including the contemporaneous Minoan Linear A and Linear B scripts. The fact that the symbols were stamped suggests a form of early printing, or at least standardized communication, but no other examples of these specific signs or a similar stamping technique have ever been found. This makes decipherment incredibly challenging, as there's no comparative material to work with. Is it a religious text, a magical incantation, a government decree, or perhaps a simple board game? Theories abound, with some scholars even suggesting it's a prayer to a goddess, a legal document, or a list of soldiers. Without a parallel text or a bilingual inscription, unlocking its meaning remains an elusive goal.
The authenticity of the disc has also been questioned by a few, though the vast majority of scholars accept it as genuine. Its uniqueness, however, makes it an archaeological outlier, a solitary voice from a sophisticated Bronze Age civilization that stubbornly refuses to yield its secrets. The Phaistos disc is a tantalizing piece of an ancient puzzle, a silent messenger from the Minoan past that continues to defy interpretation. Just off the coast of North Bimini in the Bahamas lies an underwater rock formation that has fueled intense debate, the Bimini Road. Discovered in 1968, this 800-meter-long stretch of large, rectangular limestone blocks, arranged in a remarkably straight line, has been interpreted by some as evidence of a submerged ancient harbor, or even a remnant of the lost city of Atlantis. The precisely aligned blocks, some weighing several tons, appear to form a pavement or a wall, suggesting intelligent design rather than natural formation. The idea that these are artificial structures, possibly part of a sophisticated ancient civilization that predates known cultures in the region, is highly appealing to many. Proponents of an artificial origin point to the regularity of the blocks, their apparent cut marks, and the overall linear pattern as strong indicators of human construction. Some have even suggested that these could be part of an ancient road leading to a now submerged city. However, mainstream geologists generally attribute the Bimini Road to natural causes. They argue that the blocks are naturally occurring beach rock, a type of sandstone formed by the cementation of sand and shell fragments. The regular shapes and linear arrangement, they contend, can be explained by natural geological processes, such like jointing, fracturing, and erosion. While divers have explored the site extensively, finding no definitive evidence of tools or building techniques, the allure of the Bimini Road as an ancient mystery persists. Is it a testament to a lost civilization, a stepping stone to a submerged city, or simply a magnificent geological coincidence? The debate continues to rage beneath the clear blue waters of the Caribbean. In 1929, a sensational discovery was made in the Topkapi Palace Library in Istanbul, a fragmented map drawn by the Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis in 1513. What makes this map so extraordinary is its depiction of coastlines, including parts of South America and Africa, with remarkable accuracy for its time. However, the most baffling aspect is its inclusion of what appears to be the coastline of Antarctica, free of ice.
This is highly problematic because Antarctica was not officially discovered until 1820, and its coastline was not fully mapped until the 20th century, long before the Piri-Reis map was created. Furthermore, if the map indeed shows an ice-free Antarctica, it suggests knowledge that would predate the last glacial period, raising questions about incredibly ancient and lost cartographic sources. Piri-Reis himself stated that his map was compiled from 20 ancient charts, some of which dated back to the time of Alexander the Great. This suggests that he had access to highly sophisticated geographical knowledge from unknown, possibly pre-Ice Age civilizations. Mainstream explanations suggest that the Antarctica section might be a misinterpretation of a South American coastline or a hypothetical landmass. Others argue that the map's accuracy is exaggerated, and the similarities are coincidental or based on speculation rather than actual exploration. However, the sheer detail and relative accuracy of other parts of the map make a complete dismissal difficult. The Piri-Reis map remains a compelling out-of-place artifact, hinting at a lost golden age of exploration and cartography. A tantalizing whisper from a forgotten past that challenges our understanding of ancient world navigation and knowledge.
Journey to the rugged landscape of Sardinia, and you'll encounter peculiar megalithic structures known as the Tombs of the Giants. These massive burial chambers, dating from the Nuragic civilization, approximately 1800 to 2380 BCE, are characterized by their enormous stone slabs, resembling giant doorways leading into long, corridor-like burial areas. The most striking feature is the central exedra, a semicircular courtyard with a tall, slender, upright stone, stele, at its center, often intricately carved. The sheer size of the stones used, some weighing many tons, and the precision with which they were fitted together is a testament to sophisticated engineering by an ancient culture. But the real mystery lies in the giants themselves. While no actual giants have ever been found within the tombs, local legends persist, speaking of a race of colossal beings who once inhabited the island. This folklore, combined with the monumental scale of the architecture, fuels speculation about the true nature of their builders. Archaeologists agree that these were collective tombs for the Nuragic people, but the inspiration behind their unique design and the level of societal organization required for their construction remain subjects of intense study. Were they influenced by Mediterranean cultures, or did the Nuragic civilization develop these impressive architectural styles independently? The Nuragic people were known for their impressive stone towers, Nuragi, but the tombs of the giants offer a different architectural marvel. They suggest a strong belief system surrounding death and the afterlife, and a society capable of marshaling significant resources for communal projects. The whispers of giants and the monumental stones continue to guard Sardinia's ancient secrets. Inside the ancient Egyptian Temple of Hathor at Dendera, a series of enigmatic carvings have sparked one of the most intriguing debates in Egyptology. Known as the Dendera Light, these reliefs depict figures holding what appears to be large bulb-like objects connected to a serpent-like filament leading to a flowering lotus pillar. To some, these carvings bear an uncanny resemblance to modern Crookes tubes or light bulbs, suggesting that the ancient Egyptians possessed an advanced understanding of electricity and lighting technology. If true, this would mean they had a form of electric lighting thousands of years before its accepted invention, drastically altering our view of their scientific capabilities. Proponents of this theory point to the fact that the temple's inner chambers where these reliefs are found are notoriously dark and show no evidence of soot from oil lamps or torches. This absence of soot, they argue, supports the idea of a clean, enclosed light source.
However, mainstream Egyptologists offer a different interpretation. They identify the bulb as a depiction of the Djed pillar, a symbol of stability and the backbone of Osiris. combined with the lotus flower, a symbol of creation and regeneration. The serpent is understood to be a manifestation of the god Harsumptus, emerging from the lotus, representing the divine creative energy. The absence of soot is explained by the use of highly efficient oil lamps with wicks that produced minimal residue, or simply by the fact that the inner sanctums were not always brightly lit, perhaps only illuminated for specific rituals. While the idea of an ancient Egyptian light bulb is tantalizing, the symbolic interpretation remains the more widely accepted view. Yet the mystery of how those dark chambers were illuminated without leaving traces continues to fuel alternative theories. High on a hillside near Glasgow, Scotland, lies a massive slab of sandstone known as the Cockno Stone, adorned with a bewildering array of cup and ring marks. These enigmatic prehistoric petroglyphs, dating back to around 3000 BCE, feature spirals, grooves, and over 90 complex cup and ring designs, making it one of the finest examples of Neolithic rock art in Europe. For centuries, the meaning and purpose of these intricate carvings have eluded archaeologists. Were they astronomical charts marking celestial events or constellations? Were they religious symbols, maps of ancient territories, or perhaps even early forms of communication or ritualistic artwork? The stone's large size, measuring approximately 8 by 13 meters, suggests its importance to the ancient communities who created it. The sheer effort involved in carving such detailed patterns into hard sandstone using primitive tools speaks volumes about its significance. One of the challenges in studying the Cockno stone is its vulnerability. Due to repeated vandalism and attempts to trace the carvings, the stone was deliberately reburied in 1965 to protect it. While this preserved the artifact, it also limited direct study for decades. Recent efforts utilizing 3D scanning technology before its reburial in 2016 have revealed new details and allowed for more precise analysis, but the core mystery persists. The Cockno stone is a silent, ancient canvas holding the artistic and spiritual expressions of a long-lost culture, a profound puzzle etched into the very landscape of Scotland. What messages do these abstract patterns convey across 5 millennia?
Off the coast of Yonaguni Island in Japan, submerged beneath the Pacific Ocean, lies a colossal rock formation that continues to spark fierce debate, the Yonaguni Monument. Discovered in 1986, this structure consists of massive angular rock terraces, straight edges, 90-degree angles, and what appear to be steps and pillars, all at a depth of 5 to 40 meters. To many, especially renowned marine geologist Masaaki Kimura, these formations are undeniable evidence of an ancient man-made city submerged by seismic activity or rising sea levels. They argued that the precision of the cuts, the symmetrical terraces, and the sheer scale of the structure point overwhelmingly to artificial construction. If the Yonaguni Monument is indeed man-made, it would necessitate a sophisticated civilization existing in the region thousands of years ago, possibly dating back to the last ice age when sea levels were significantly lower. This would dramatically rewrite the history of East Asian civilizations. However, mainstream geologists largely contend that the Yonaguni Monument is a natural geological formation. They attribute its striking appearance to natural erosional processes acting on soft sandstone, specifically pointing to tectonic activity, wave action, and currents, creating these regular yet natural shapes over millennia. The lack of definitive archaeological artifacts, tools, or inscriptions found at the site make it difficult to prove human intervention. Yet the uncanny regularity and resemblance to architectural features continue to make the natural versus artificial debate one of the most captivating underwater mysteries.
Is Yonaguni a sunken city, a monument to a forgotten people, or simply Mother Nature's incredible artistry? Returning to Sardinia, beyond the tombs of the giants, we encounter the island's most iconic and enigmatic structures, the nuraghi. These massive, beehive-shaped stone towers, numbering over 7,000 across the island, were constructed by the indigenous Nuragic civilization during the Bronze Age, approximately 1800 to 700 BCE. Constructed from dry-laid, often enormous basalt blocks without mortar, the nuraghi stand as formidable examples of prehistoric engineering. Many are single conical towers, while others are complex fortresses with multiple towers, courtyards, and intricate internal staircases and chambers. Despite their ubiquity, the primary function of the nuraghi remains hotly debated. Were they purely defensive fortresses, protecting communities from invaders? Their strategic placement, often on hilltops, certainly suggests a military purpose, offering commanding views of the surrounding landscape. However, some scholars argue for broader uses: watchtowers, granaries, ceremonial centers, or even elite residences. The uncanny regularity and resemblance to architectural features continue to make the natural versus artificial debate one of the most captivating underwater mysteries. Is Yonaguni a sunken city, a monument to a forgotten people, or simply Mother Nature's incredible artistry? Returning to Sardinia, beyond the tombs of the giants, we encounter the island's most iconic and enigmatic structures, the nuraghi. These massive, beehive-shaped stone towers, numbering over 7,000 across the island, were constructed by the indigenous Nuragic civilization during the Bronze Age, approximately 1800 to 700 BCE. Constructed from dry-laid, often enormous basalt blocks without mortar, the nuraghi stand as formidable examples of prehistoric engineering. Many are single conical towers, while others are complex fortresses with multiple towers, courtyards, and intricate internal staircases and chambers. Despite their ubiquity, the primary function of the nuraghi remains hotly debated. Were they purely defensive fortresses, protecting communities from invaders? Their strategic placement, often on hilltops, certainly suggests a military purpose, offering commanding views of the surrounding landscape. However, some scholars argue for broader uses: watchtowers, granaries, ceremonial centers, or even elite residences. The uncanny regularity and resemblance to architectural features continue to make the natural versus artificial debate one of the most captivating underwater mysteries. Is Yonaguni a sunken city, a monument to a forgotten people, or simply Mother Nature's incredible artistry?
Perched on the small Mediterranean islands of Malta and Gozo are some of the oldest freestanding stone structures in the world, the megalithic temples of Malta. Predating Stonehenge and the Egyptian pyramids by more than 1,000 years, these colossal structures, built between 3600 and 2500 BCE, represent an extraordinary feat of prehistoric engineering and spiritual devotion. Constructed from massive limestone blocks, some weighing over 20 tons, these temple complexes feature intricate layouts of oval chambers, apses, and courtyards. Their design often mirrors the female form, with entrance passages leading to inner sanctums, suggesting a deep connection to fertility cults and goddess worship. The precision with which these enormous stones were quarried, transported, and erected by a Neolithic society without metal tools remains a profound mystery. How did they achieve such complex architectural forms, including elaborate lintels and decorated orthostats? The evidence of rollers, levers, and enormous human effort only partially explains the scale of this achievement. The purpose of these temples is believed to be primarily religious, serving as centers for rituals, ceremonies, and possibly even oracles. Artifacts found within, such as stylized statues of corpulent figures, often called fat ladies, further support the idea of a highly developed spiritual culture centered around life, death, and fertility. What led to their eventual abandonment around 2500 BCE is another puzzle. Was it environmental degradation, invasion, or internal societal collapse? The megalithic temples of Malta stand as silent monuments to a forgotten people, their massive stones whispering tales of ancient beliefs and engineering prowess that continued to baffle modern archaeologists. In the ancient Near East, specifically in Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, archaeological excavations at sites like Al-Ubaid have unearthed intriguing figurines from the Ubaid period, dating back to 5500 to 4000 BCE. These artifacts, known as the Ubaid lizard men, depict humanoid figures with elongated heads, slanted eyes, and distinct reptilian features. The startling appearance of these figurines, particularly their reptilian heads and lean bodies, has fueled wild speculation. Were they representations of ancient gods, mythical creatures, or something far more extraordinary? Their striking non-human features have led some to suggest they depict extraterrestrial beings or a forgotten race of lizard people who interacted with early Sumerian civilizations. Mainstream archaeology offers a more grounded interpretation. These figurines are typically seen as ritualistic objects, possibly representing deities, ancestors, or mythical figures important to the Ubaid culture. The exaggerated features might be stylistic choices, reflecting specific religious or artistic conventions of the time. The Ubaid culture is considered a predecessor to the great Sumerian civilization, known for its innovations in agriculture, pottery, and early city-states. The presence of such unique iconography at the dawn of organized civilization raises questions about the belief systems and visual representations of these early societies. While the alien theories are captivating, they lack scientific support. However, the Ubaid lizard men undeniably present a fascinating artistic and cultural puzzle. What did these figures mean to their creators? What stories and beliefs did they embody? These ancient enigmatic representations continue to peer at us across millennia, challenging our assumptions about what was considered sacred or significant in the cradle of civilization.
Our final mystery takes us to the dramatic coast of Northern Ireland, home to the Giant's Causeway, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Here, over 40,000 interlocking basalt columns, mostly hexagonal, rise majestically from the sea, forming stepping stones that stretch into the ocean. Their perfect geometric shapes and organized appearance make them seem undeniably artificial. According to local legend, the causeway was built by the Irish giant Fionn mac Cúil, Finn mac Cúil, as stepping stones to cross the North Channel to fight his Scottish rival, Banandónar. When Fionn retreated, he supposedly tore up parts of the causeway to prevent Banandónar from following, explaining the scattered formations. However, scientific consensus attributes the Giant's Causeway to a volcanic eruption around 50 to 60 million years ago. As molten basalt lava cooled rapidly, it contracted and fractured in this precise hexagonal pattern, creating the columns. This process, known as columnar jointing, is a well-understood geological phenomenon, also seen in other parts of the world. Despite the scientific explanation, the debate continues to simmer. The sheer perfection and scale of the columns, especially those forming a seemingly paved path, make it easy to understand why ancient peoples attributed its creation to giants or gods. How could nature alone produce such architectural precision? The Giant's Causeway stands as a magnificent example of how natural processes can mimic artificial design, blurring the lines between myth and geology.
It's a testament to the power of both nature and human imagination, a place where science provides answers, but the awe-inspiring spectacle continues to invite wonder, and perhaps a lingering doubt about the official story.